everyone, welcome back to my channel Tutelage, a guide to learner. Here, this is Sriparna. Hope all of you are doing well. In my previous sessions, we have already discussed different topics on the chapter that is Measures of Dispersion, and today we are going to explain another most important topic of the statistics, that is Lorenz curve. Okay, so in my last session, we have already discussed it, but today we will discuss elaborately. So if you have missed my previous session, so please go and check my first comment and my description box where my all previous sessions link are already available. Okay, let's begin the session and move on the main slide. So here we can see what we will study today. So we will study today uh, the detailed discussion on Lorenz curve with graphical representation, and we have already known Gini coefficient, and the measurement of Gini coefficient is basically related to the concept of Lorenz curve. So that's why we will study today detailed discussion on Lorenz curve with graphical representation and the most important topic of statistics, that is Gini coefficient. So now move on the main slide and let's start the session. So here we can see the definition of the Lorenz curve. So we have already told Lorenz curve is a graphical method of studying dispersion, graphical method of studying measures of dispersion. Okay, and Lorenz curve gives a 1 minute. Lorenz curve gives a graphical representation of the distribution of income. Okay, income or wealth distribution. So Lorenz curve is widely used to measure inequalities of income, and Max Lorenz. Okay, Max Lorenz is the first was the first one to make use of this curve, because we have already told the curve Lorenz curve is widely used to measure inequalities of income and wealth. Okay, so that's why this concept is known as Lorenz curve. Okay, so I think this is clear. Lorenz curve gives the graphical representation of the distribution of income and wealth. Okay, so now move on to the next slide. So here we can see the another topic on Lorenz curve, that is who uses it. Okay, who are the user of the Lorenz curve? So basically, any government agencies are specially interested in the Lorenz curve, especially for the net worth and income distribution within their country. So we have already told Lorenz curve is used to measure inequalities of income, so inequalities of wealth. So that's why it is related to that thing. So government agencies, we have to know who uses it, who uses the Lorenz curve. Government agencies use it, okay, for net worth and income distribution within their country. I think this is clear. So now move on to the next slide. We can see the graphical representation of the Lorenz curve. Okay, so we can see x-axis OX. Okay, it represents the cumulative percentage of the household, and y-axis represents the cumulative percentage of income. Clear? And OP is the diagonal line. So OP is the diagonal line which is drawn connecting the point of origin O with point P. I think this is clear. What is called the diagonal line, and this diagonal line, that is OP, making an angle of 45 degree with which axis? That is x axis. I think this is clear. Okay, so OP line making an angle of 45 degree with the x axis is called the line of equal distribution or equality line. So the diagonal line, that is OP, is the equality line. I think this is clear. So now move on to the next slide. So in above mentioned figure, we have already seen x-axis represents a cumulative percentage of households and y-axis represents a cumulative percentage of income. And what do you mean by a line of equal distribution, learner? I think this is clear to everyone. Basically, a diagonal line is drawn connecting the point of origin O with the point P as shown in the above mentioned figure. Clear? And the line OP, we have already told that thing, the line OP making an angle of 45 degree with the x-axis. So the line of equal distribution is clear to everyone and it indicates all the points. Okay, so now move on to the next slide. Here we can see 1 minute, some points on the OP line, on the equality line. So the equality line or line of equal distribution indicates all the points on the line show a complete equality of income. For example, 25% of the households would get 25% of total income and 50% of households would get 50% of the total income, and so on. I think this is clear. I think this is clear about the equality line. So now we are moving to the next thing, that is the Lorenz curve. We have two lines. One is equality line and another one is Lorenz curve. So we have already discussed what do you mean by a equality line and what it indicate. But now we are discussing on the Lorenz curve. What is the behind the making of Lorenz curve basically? Okay, so now move on to the next slide. Here we consider some points on the Lorenz curve. Okay, uh, that is A, B, C, P, etc. Okay, so we know we have two axes, y axis and x axis. So the point is y comma x. Okay, for a point, okay, indicates, so the value of y is 10 and the value of x is 25. Now we are plotting it, so in the graph. So this is 10, this is 10 obviously because value of y is 10 and value of x is 25. So this is the plotted point A. Okay, so it indicates 25% of the households would get 10% of total income. Okay, so now move on to the next point, that is B. Clear? That is B. So the point is y comma x. Clear? So 25, the value of y for point B, that is 25. So this value is, and this one, this is 50. Clear? So the value of y is 25 and value of x is 50. So the point B indicates uh sorry mm, 20 sorry 50% of the households would get 25% of the total income. Clear? I think this is clear, and so on. Like C. Clear na? So we are plotting it already on the on the curve. So the locus of the all point, so the locus of the all point is called the Lorenz curve. Clear? So the Lorenz curve is O A B C P. So the Lorenz curve is O A B C and P. So the all plotted points are joined with a smooth freehand curve so as to get a curve, so as to get a Lorenz curve, that is OABCP. This is clear. Thus, a Lorenz curve shows the cumulative percentage of total income against cumulative percentage of households. Different points on it show cumulative percentage of different cumulative percentage of income received by corresponding percentage of population. We have already told A point indicates 25% of households would get 10% of the total income. B point indicates 50% of the households would get 25% of total income. Point C indicate 80% of the households would get 75% of the total income, and so on. I think the graphical representation of the Lorenz curve is clear to everyone. I think this is clear. So now move on to the next topic. So here we can see the Lorenz curve never crosses the equal distribution line OP. We have already seen this is a diagonal line and this is the Lorenz curve, but Lorenz curve never crosses, never touches the equal distribution line or equality line, that is OP. So Lorenz curve basically shows the actual distribution of income. So degree of income inequality indicates the distance between the equality line and Lorenz curve. So we have already seen the graphical representation of the Lorenz curve. So this is the diagram and this is the diagonal line OP and this is the Lorenz curve. So degree of income inequality uh, indicates the distance between the equality line and Lorenz curve. Okay, so the distance. So now move on to the next slide, and this portion is called the area of inequality. So this is the, sorry, 1 minute. We have already seen in the diagram, sorry, we have already seen in the diagram, this is y axis, this is x axis, and this one, and this is the diagonal line, and this is the Lorenz curve. Okay, so Lorenz curve never crosses the equal distribution line or the equality line, because Lorenz curve shows the actual distribution of income and equality line indicates or shows the equal distribution of income or wealth. So the distance between Lorenz curve and the equality line shows the degree of inequality. Clear? So the distance between equality line and Lorenz curve is indicate the degree of inequality, and this portion, this area is called area of inequality. So this portion, this shaded portion, this shaded area between the Lorenz curve and the line of equality indicates the deviation of the actual inequality from the complete equality. So it indicates the area of inequality. I think the what is the main concept of Lorenz curve, what is degree of income inequality, what is area of inequality, what is equality line, all are clear to everyone. So now move on to the next concept. So here we can see some merits of the Lorenz curve. So the first one is Lorenz curve showing income distribution among the pupil. So it shows the distribution of income or wealth. We have already told that thing. Now going to the second part, second merit, it helps with the comparing two or more factor of production. So, Leonard, do you know what are the factor of production? We know there are four factor of production: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. So, Lorenz curve is basically helps with comparing two or more factors of production. And now move on to the third point. Lorenz curve helps with comprehending the changes in wages and inequality of income, because we have already told Lorenz curve it gives the graphical representation of the distribution of income. It is widely used to measure the inequalities of income and inequalities uh, of wealth, and it indicates the changes in wages also. So these are the merits or advantages of the Lorenz curve. Clear? So now move on to the next concept. So here, this is the one of the most important concept, and which is basically related to the Lorenz curve. So that is Gini coefficient. Okay, so Gini coefficient is basically a measurement of degree of inequality in the income distribution. We have already told the distance between equality line and Lorenz curve is called area of inequality, degree of inequality, degree of income inequality. So degree of income inequality indicates Gini coefficient. Degree of income inequality is called the Gini coefficient. I think this is clear. What do you mean by Gini coefficient? So we have already told the shaded area, the distance between the Lorenz curve and the equality line shows the degree of income inequality, and which is known as Gini coefficient. Okay, so now move on to the next. So here we can see a measurement of the Gini coefficient. So we all know the Gini coefficient is equal to the area between the line of perfect income equality line, that is OP line, that is diagonal line, and the actual Lorenz curve, that is divided by the entire triangular R under the line of the perfect income equality. So the uh, formula of the Gini coefficient, that is A by A plus B. So now move on to the figure. Now move on to the graphical representation. So we all know that if we discuss measurement of Gini coefficient without diagram, so it is impossible. So I think it will help us. So here we can see the same diagram in a different format. Just a little bit different. Okay, so here we can see x-axis represents uh, cumulative percentage of the households, and y-axis represents the cumulative percentage of income, and this is the perfect distribution line, and this is the Lorenz curve. Okay, and G indicates, capital G indicates the Gini coefficient. So the formula of the Gini coefficient, that is A divided by A plus B, we have already told that thing. Okay, so what is the area of A? So this is the area of A. This is the green color area, indicates the triangle of A. Clear? So triangle A indicates the distance between perfect distribution line or equality line and the Lorenz curve. And what is the area of B, triangle B? So this portion is called triangle D. So A divided by, as a numerator we can say uh, triangle A, in denominator we can see A plus B. So that portion plus total portion. So this is the perfect formula for the Gini coefficient. So capital G or Gini coefficient is the ratio of A and A plus B. A indicates the area of inequality and B indicates the total triangle. I think the measurement of Gini coefficient is clear. So learner, we have already seen measurement of Gini coefficient with the help of diagram of Lorenz curve. So Gini coefficient is equal to the area between line of perfect income inequality and the actual Lorenz curve which is called the triangle A. The green portion, the light green color indicates the triangle A, which is divided by the entire triangular. We have already told that. So I think this is clear. What do you mean by a measurement of Gini coefficient? And we have already seen the Gini coefficient is equal to the area between the perfect line and the actual Lorenz curve, which indicate the triangle A, and A plus B, that indicates the entire triangle, entire triangular are under the line of perfect income in equality. So this is the formula of the Gini coefficient, that is G is equals to A by A plus B. We all know that Gini coefficient ranges from 0 to 1. So Gini coefficient is 0, that means perfect equality. Okay. What do you mean by a perfect equality? Perfect equality means everyone receives an equal share. Okay. And the value of Gini coefficient is 1, that indicates perfect inequality. So, inequality means where only one recipient or a group of recipients receives all the income. I think this is clear. So, Gini coefficient ranges from 0 to 1. So we are done for the today's session. We have already discussed the Lorenz curve, the graphical representation of Lorenz curve, and the Gini coefficient, and all are very important in economics. So I hope it will be a very helpful session to everyone. I will come again with an exciting session. Till then, stay tuned and please do like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. You can press bell button for getting notification from my side. Happy learning. Thank you.